Alright, let's do this. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Alright, what do we got here? Let's see here. Let's talk about Vulkan for a minute. Nvidia and this Vulkan here. Yeah. What do we got here? Let's see here. Nvidia adds Vulkan compatibility to Smoothmotion frame generation, complete with a boost for emulators. Smoothmotions now support the same games as AFMF slash AFMF2, but still only supports RTX 50 series GPU. Says here, Nvidia latest driver-based frame generation technology, RTX 50 series exclusive, now supports all three major gaming APIs. A user on the Nvidia subreddit confirmed that Smoothmotion stealthily received an update allowing the technology to support Vulkan titles in addition to DirectX 11 and DirectX 12. In addition, Vulkan support will allow Smoothmotion to work with emulators, bringing frame generation to older games that are emulated through Proton or DXVK. Smoothmotion is Nvidia's competitor or counterpart to Fluid Motion frames or AFMF or AFMF2. Just like AFMF, Smoothmotion is a driver-based frame generation technology that works in any games as long as the API is supported and is completely developer agnostic. Then it says the Reddit user discovered Smoothmotion new update in Nvidia app, where Nvidia added Vulkan to the technology minimum requirement. In the description, most games nowadays take advantage of DirectX 11 or DirectX 12, but Vulkan support will allow Smoothmotion to work with the relatively small pool of Vulkan exclusive games. It says here, Smoothmotion is now a part of the. Smoothmotion is at parity with AFMF, at least in terms of game support. With Vulkan support, one area where AMD driver-based frames generation tech is still superior is the GPU compatibility. Supporting multiple generations of Radeon GPU, Smoothmotion, by contrast, only supports RTX 50 series GPU for the time being, with the technology allegedly coming to RTX 40 series in a future update. However, there is no time frame for that update, nor is there any word on whether the tech will make its way to older GPUs such as the RTX 30 series and the 20 series. Smoothmotion is an alternative version to DLSS 3/4 frame generation that generates an entirely new frame using AI to boost frames rates. Smoothmotion works at the driver level, generating new frames independently from the game engine itself. DLSS 3 and 4 frame generation, by contrast, is embedded into a game engine by the game developer, improving image quality. AMD's AFMF counterpart works the same, but at the time of writing, it uses an inferior non-AI based approach to generate frames. Yeah. And anything else on this? Anything else on this here? This article is from Video Cards. Any comment from the debaters? Nope. All right. Huh. Okay. What is this? What's this one? What's this? Okay. Never saw that one before. All right. Now, what else we got here on the gaming on the Vulkan side of things? Let's see. What else we got here? Okay. It says here, this from Video Cards. Nvidia enables Smoothmotion frame generation for Vulkan API in the latest update. It says here, Nvidia is reportedly in Smoothmotion for Vulkan API means smoother FPS in emulators. Nvidia has reportedly enabled Smoothmotion for Vulkan, which is great news for gamers who want to use this technology with various emulators. Then it says, first, it's important to understand what smooth motion is and its limitation. The technology is Nvidia response to AMD fluid motion frames. It is a driver level frame generation feature that can be enabled for supported games. Until now, there were two main limitations. It only works with GeForce RTX 50 series GPU, not supported on previous generation, and had limited graphics API compatibility. Apparently, Nvidia has now enabled smooth motion for the Vulkan API. However, support for pre-Blackwell GPU has not changed. Vulkan support is particularly useful for emulators, many of which rely on this API. This makes it one of the most practical use cases for the feature. And let's see here what it says here. Nvidia has updated smooth motion guide confirming support for DLSS frame generation on RTX 50 GPUs in x86 space 64 Vulkan application. The feature works by injecting additional frames through a separated Vulkan layer. Then it says here, Nvidia Smooth Motion. Nvidia Smooth Motion is a new driver-based AI model that delivers smoother gameplay by inferring an additional frame generation to render frames for games without DLSS frame generation. Nvidia's Smooth Motion is a new option for enhancing your experience on the GeForce RTX 50 series GPUs. Features support x86 undercore space 64 Vulkan application. Nvidia Smooth Motion can be enabled by setting the environment variable NV preset enable smooth motion equal 1 when launching a game. This will enable the VK layer or NV present implicit Vulkan layer, which overrides the application presentation to inject additional frames. Then it says frame generation for emulators might be the most effective application of this feature. Driver level technologies like this are often available for games that are no longer supported or never were because the original studio no longer exists. Emulators running games at capped frame rates can now benefit from significantly improved frame pacing and higher FPS. Reddit users have confirmed that emulators such as CMU, and then it says Wii U, RPCS3, PS3, and even the PS4 emulators now support smooth motion. Then it says Zelda games on Wii U, like Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, Little Big Planet games on RPCS3, even games running on the PS4 emulator gets double the FPS. And then it says Nvidia still has work to do, especially in extending smooth motion support to RTX 40 and 30 series GPUs. Nvidia confirms RTX 40 support back in January, but no further updates have been provided. Hopefully, Nvidia will continue refining this feature in the future driver release, which have been frequent in recent weeks. Yeah. And how many comments we got here? 6. And then Gringo said this: lossless scaling and the fear go away. 3090 user. Then Anthony said this: lossless scaling is so good. Even I tried use RTX 40 frame gen plus lossless scaling. Work combined is interesting. And then who is this? Fury said this. No, Fury said this. Great ill use it. Oh wait, still no 40x support. And then Eno said this: why then do you use the already outdated RTX 40XX? Jensen is hungry too. Buy RTX 50 XD. And then Fury says, I just use lossless scaling for games that doesn't have native FG. It would still beb nice to have it at a driver level. Yeah, so that's Nvidia for you. Now for let's see what we got for Vulkan here. Anything on Vulkan? Let's see here. Vulkan. Let's see, what do we got? Okay. Let's see, anything on the Vulkan? Oh, let's see, we got something on Radv though. Let's see here. Radv Vulkan driver lands BF Float 16 support in Mesa 25.2, and it says here introduced at the end of March. Vulkan 1.4.311 with VKKHR shader BF Float 16 allow BF Float 16 BF16 operation within SPIR-V shaders SPIR-V KHR float. This BF Float support, BF Float 16 support can be beneficial for Vulkan machine learning AI workloads and other use cases moving forward. Now the Mesa Radeon Vulkan driver Radv is the newest wiring up support for VKKHR shaders and BF Float 16. It says here since the Vulkan 1.4.311 release, there was a quick Nvidia Vulkan driver beta with support, and at the end of April the Intel AMD driver at BF Float 16 support. And then it says for Mesa 25.2, now in the following that Intel ANV works and changes to common SPIR-V code. BF16 Radv implementation was merged today to the Git, and George Lehman, who worked on this VK underscore KHR underscore shaders underscore BF Float 16 for the open source Radeon Vulkan driver. Note that AMD's RDNA3 GFX11 graphics processor have precision issues with BF16, thus not enabled for now. So for the most, at least BF16 support with Radeon GPU is only being exposed for RDNA4 GFX12 GPUs. And then it says here this merge is what landed for this Radv VKKHR shaders BF Float 16 support. So far AMD's VLK as AMD official open source Vulkan API driver for a Linux system isn't yet exposing this BF Float 16 extension. Yeah. And let's see, we got two comments from the debaters. Let's see what they yapping about here. But yeah, got you guys, man. I got you. What do we got here? Any comments from the debaters? What do we got? What was this? Far said this: Radeon Vulkan driver notes though that AMD's RDNA3 GFX12 graphics processors have precision issues with BF16 and thus not enabling right now. It says Radeon, as always, encoder issues. Now this newer architecture should fix it. And who else is this? Let's see. And then Smitty said this: enable it on RDNA4. So yes. Anyway, keep going here. All right, now what else we got here on the Vulkan side? See if we got anything on Vulkan now. Here's another one. Mesa lava pipe driver wires up more features used by VKD3D, but Vulkan is involved in this. It says here Mesa developer Konstantin Schurer has been adding more features to the lava pipe Vulkan driver for functionality needed by VKD3D Proton for mapping direct 3D 12 APIs atop Vulkan. Lava pipe, as a reminder, is the CPU/software based implementation of Vulkan within Mesa. This Mesa software Vulkan driver can be useful for having a non-GPU code path when debugging Vulkan issues. Other code path for vetting Mesa changes independent of any hardware vendor and similar purpose along the same lines as LLVM pipe is the OpenGL merge yesterday for 25.2. Says were a number of additional Vulkan features added to the lava pipe for what is needed for VKD3D Proton. And then it says some of the new functionalities include VK underscore extension underscore fragment underscore shader underscore interlock underscore KHR shader interlock, and it says KHR underscore shaders underscore quad underscore control shader resource min LOD, and then VK extension shaders image atomic in 64-bit image clear and 64-bit image operation and other bits. And then it says the new functionality can also be useful for lava pipe outside of strictly VKD3D, but that was just the focus with the merge request. That is not part of Mesa 25.2. Yeah, got you guys, man. Yeah, gotta put this content out, you know, when it comes to Vulkan. Yeah, and like they say, you know, the tribunal is gonna issue a DMCA takedown one of these days. You guys can't spell Vulkan right. But anyway, anything else we got? Oh, what's this? Here's a. Do I want to put this up in there? No. That should do it. So, you guys, you're good. Wait a minute. So make sure I got everything here. Make sure I got everything. Okay, I did that already. Okay, did that. Yeah, you guys are good now. News, deals, games, updates. The usual, you guys are good. So you Vulkan fans, you're good with your news. Hope that was helpful for you. I'm going to leave all the articles in the description box so you can see for yourself. Description box so you can see for yourself. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, such a thing. Poor Dark Side. Go. Peace.